What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house. I feel like to cover everything that's happening with the market, with the heating up towards the WCQ season earlier than ever. It keeps happening in January lately, it feels like. Also, of course, with the ban list, it would take an hour-long market watch, and I just don't have that sort of time. So do be joining my live streams every Sunday, 7 o'clock Central. That is tonight, despite the playoffs. Also on Friday, 7 o'clock Central, and most Wednesdays on 7 Central. That being said, with all this movement, I hope you guys are using my TCG player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra and supporting the channel directly. All you gotta do is click it when you start shopping and it supports me. It's crazy. That being said, like Philip DeFranco, let's go ahead and jump into this. Borreload Savage Dragon is getting savage in price, so much so that the international market's coming into play with their copies and trying to make that quick buck. Wow, $53 and quickly 60. This is more so just the flashpoint of the buyout and the fallout and people trying to make that quick buck. I see motivated sellers over on eBay though. When I look through, we have a $35 brand new listing. Let's make sure that's still there. The market moves very fast. And then $39,240. I see this going towards 35 and sticking. It was previously 32.32, so I think people buying this out, if they're trying to get money, they're trying to get some hype behind this, they're barely gonna make their fees back on the baby bump in price that's gonna rest unless they buy it out multiple times. And you're racing a clock there. We know Savage Strike is overdue for reprints despite none being announced yet. It's gonna end up in that March reprint set or Battles of Legends somewhere, because they used Borreload's Alter Art to sell a March set, and we also got Boral Sword to sell Battles of Legends. So I just don't see this holding. I think it's a bad buyout. I think its clock is ticking on when it's going to see an actual reprint. Don't buy into this hype. Wait for the fallout, and if you absolutely have to get your copies, do what's best for you. Get this one off of eBay. Salomon Greats are trying to figure out how to reignite the fire, and they found their answer in a Fire Fist monster that doesn't have a reprint. Funny how that works. You might notice this is a rank 3 Xyz that takes 2 level 3 fire monsters. Once per turn, you can detach an Xyz material from this card, then target a fire monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. So hopefully Ash Blossom, actually, because you don't want to end up with this choke point because of the next effect. You cannot normal or special summon that monster or a monster with the same name. The rest the turn. The main use for this is getting Spinny off the field where it stays in your graveyard while you continue to combo up. I do like this card. I see why people are going after it. 2200 is nothing to sneeze at. Good replacement and good job hunting this down, you Salomon Great players. Now, I can't credit you with being budget even if you did get this at its $3 price point, because you're looking for Phantasmes and Permanences, cards that I really do hope become budget or available in the future for everybody. But this card, just another problem for a Salomon Great player's wallet if this is how you're choosing to continue. Seifert dipped down after the ban list. I was watching it wondering what would happen to the Dragon engine with IB banned, and now it's rebounding and even going back up. You see its market price towards 28. Over here on eBay, it is still a little cheaper at 27, quickly 28.30, but I think this is a card not to be underestimated. I sure hope it isn't because of my Market Watch nemesis, the Dragon Maids. And with Chamber, yes, they get an actual starter. I just don't see it being meta. I see it being rogue at best. I'm sorry for you guys trying to be very proud of your $50 kitchens, your $150 playsets, and your $28, almost $30 nurses. Please don't make that happen, even with our medical professional degree. I just don't see this deck being worth it, but I do see Seifert and its generic goodness for not only being a starter, but an extender being worth his weight, with how he's also short printed in the main set. I just don't see the Dragon Maids being worth their price point, but there they are, and they continue to do it despite my protest. This, however, I see you guys. You all got some cheaper versions of this. Good job on that one. Destrudo is something I always love to bring up with the Dragon engines as well. It's at one of its cheapest price points for its holographic slash rares. It has been in some time. I would definitely consider having your copies with how they are disappearing off the market though. Dragon engines, they're going to continue to find a way to play. The question is, how good will they be with One Red Reboot and all these back row coming in strong? Staples are on the rise and being sniped by people. With Colossus gone, they went after Ultimate Droll and Lockbird. I've been asked a lot about this lately while it was dipping even to $48. I said goodbye for the future, and here we see people going after it, and it's quickly $70 after that one leaves. Somebody wants to make a quick sale, and we see 65 and then 70. I do think this will go down until it proves its use, but as we enter a new unknown format, Droll could become one of the primary hand traps, especially when people expect it less as the counter. Droll is format dependent. We'll see how this one pans out. Speaking of staples though, Ash Blossom is on the rise to where almost every copy is headed towards $7 lowest. The starter deck being the cheapest on TCG Player at $6, Dual Power over $7.50, and even our brand new Alter Art headed towards $7 out of Dual Devastator. This could be somewhat from value displacement is what I thought at first, because Super Poly might be reprinted in the Shaddoll structure deck, but it's still sitting almost towards its $6 it was at it, around $5.50. And this, every copy of Ash Blossom is going up. On eBay, we have one starter deck one at mint condition for $5 before, look at this, $6.50, $7 already. Just a couple of copies. That's absurd, and it's not Ash alone. Nibiru, back up towards $11. And just think about this. How many players are coming back for April, let alone sinking their money in now in January due to the ban list and them feeling like it's open game, open season for playing again? April is going to be absurd when it comes for staples as people are getting ready for the WCQ. I hate to say this, with rising prices, consider when to get your staples now. Don't put it off. Don't say, yeah, I'm getting back in April, I'll go ahead then, and be deterred by prices. You have only yourself to blame if you end up, seeing this become an actual $15 card, despite this getting vendors back the price of their Megatons right here. We do see it's towards $10 still over here on eBay by many sellers there, though. I expect these quantities to actually disappear over time throughout the hype of the next April list and the Master Rule revision, if we don't get some kind of reprint for Nibiru, which is unlikely. Look at Norden and cards like that and how long originals to Megatons take to get a reprint. It ain't often that happens. Apollosa staple also heading up, only one at 86 now before it's 90 over here, and quickly there's lots, people trying to make that quick buck by scamming people. There's quickly a $90 plus price point on eBay as well, with just a few copies left. Wow. I don't see where Apollosa's reprint will be out of Rising Rampage. Will it be the cover card as a reprint for Battles of Legend, the selling point for it? Or will it be all the way towards the Megatons? Let me know what you guys think, but boy, this one above the extra deck, it's getting freaking expensive. Ghost Ogre is something I just wanted to bring up because as formats change, such as Droll and Lock being anticipated, Ogre might also find its way into gameplay, but then Girsu is still going to be very strong. This format, Orcust is going to be very strong, and I feel like that's why Ghost Ogre's taken a bit of a backseat. But look at these prices. Think that this might be a $5 card in the future? I would definitely be looking at my copies and arts and styles that I want right now. Even the gold rare is under $250. Definitely look towards future formats when you're looking around. Think about the WCQ and ban list heading towards the new Master Rule. Get your hand traps and staples now. Soul Drain peeled off the list to 3. And the rare is already falling back in price pretty quickly. We do have a Lost Art promotion, which is also going to help keep this down, as huge quantities recently are surfacing on the market. We see this guy has 20. And then you have the super rare as well. Well, the Lost Art just makes the super rare mid-rarity, unless people really just don't like the Lost Art promotion version of it. But I feel like these get a lot of hype, and this is just going to be stuck in no man's land, probably floundering back towards $5. When I look over here at Infernoids, I'm seeing them baby bump up in price. Almost $11 for Decatron again. And then the Void cards with Vanishment spiking a little more significantly back above $10. And Void Imagination towards $7 plus. Infernoids didn't get any hits. They didn't really get help, though. They keep stealing 4th place at YCSs or a top here and there at regionals. With everything else getting hit and them staying the same, they do stand to improve. Talking about the other Void card, I expect Into the Voids to be falling out. Even though people can consider playing one, really, you're going to risk discarding your whole hand versus that. Play your freaking hand traps. And finally, just to shout out Triff Gaming, topping with Pendulums, he heavily credited Crowley, I believe, in being how his deck moved forward. This card's pretty good, and it's locked behind the $30 paywall of Dupo. If you're considering Pendulums moving forward and you do like his list, think about getting this while it's still 50 cents, as it's starting to run out of quantities from certain sellers. You can still get it very, very cheap right now. So if you're a Pendulum duelist, you had given up hope, go check out Triff's profile, topping a regional with no Electromite and 1 Servant. Pretty crazy stuff. Adapted to the new format. Definitely consider this card. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Remember to use that TCG player link in the description down below. And join those live streams tonight, 7 Central. You can watch the Sports Ball and tune into some Yu-Gi-Oh! Talk about the market, the ban list, and some gameplay. Thank you guys.